Previously on Adventure Awaits. Splitting off, heading inland. Destination, Phandalin, off the Tribor Trail. Kai's unfortunate interaction the night before your arrival in Antpale. Something to do with Kai's patron, maybe disappearing at the hands of the Drow. Making a stopover in Antpale, home to Antpale's Asylum for Orphaned Children, whom you knew was the destination for Arthrid. Finding out after he departed from the Drow prison, he apparently is under the guidance of some new teacher. Do we pick up now as you all go to pack up your belongings, make your way onto the roads based on maps that you looked at in Waterdeep? Easily would have found that this will be a pretty long, mostly barren journey of about 16 days. On one of the mundane days of travel, something catches your eye, Jen. 900 feet or so off on the side of the road. A large, 60, 70 foot tall, almost ancient ebony tree. You feel, even from the road, elemental heat emanating from within this tree.
Sensing something in that direction. Something familiar.
Need to check it out?
Think we should. You can see me from this distance. Just wait for now. Shouldn't be long.
Alright. If you need any help, just holler.
You know Juliet's following him, right?
You make your way towards this tree. Almost completely black exterior wood. You feel this elemental heat increase as you get closer to it. For the record, Juliet, you feel nothing. And you start to see an opening slice up this tree. Fire begins to emit from it. This creature fully step out, hovering in the air. Long white wings with black tips on the end. A very humanoid pointy face, like elven to the extreme, with this long flowing feathers instead of hair along the back, and talons and claws sitting on both the tips of his wings and where his feet would be. Blue and green robes floating down his chest. Makes a fist and right across your face strikes you.
Oh, hell no.
If he can make an intelligence save, that would be cool.
His attention immediately flick over to you as he throws his wing up and a large wall of fire envelops, turning into a dome surrounding them, completely cutting off your vision.
Yeah, absolutely she's gonna jump through the fire.
Constitution check. You put your shield up and brace yourself. Instead of hitting a wall of fire, you more so hit a wall of force, pushing through this wall, and you do eventually make it through to the other side. You feel the burning heat. It is hot, but it does not burn you.
I'm igniting my fists, and I'll punch him with a dragon claw.
Juliet, you push through this fire just in time to see Jen's flaming fist, the full power of his body behind it, strikes the chest of this avian-like creature floating in front of him. The fire engulfed this creature for a moment before he absorbs it. It hit him, and it did sear his chest, but he rechanneled your energy back into you. Make a dexterity saving throw for me.
What the shit?
Not enough as this dragon claw reforms in front of him and hits you straight in the face again. Use the fire within you. Strike me again.
Let's see who withstands the longest, I guess. Let's go. Other dragon claw.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Shield of Faith on Jen.
Okay. Jen, the shimmering shield come upon you. Dark purple and almost blackish like streaks as you hit him with another fist again. This time the creature gets bounced back almost 5 feet before recomposing itself. His wings, keeping him afloat, moves back towards you. Make another dexterity saving throw with advantage this time. Fire swirls around, culminating into a fist almost the size of your humanoid body, and you hit the deck. The Shield of Faith moving above you to bounce off this energy creature and gets a little smirk on its face. Good. More.
I'm gonna do another punch.
Striking straight to the heart of this creature. This dome that's been surrounding you explodes outwards. You guys now see as the ebony tree alights from within, and it begins to burn. Stunned almost as he falls back on the ground, his talons digging in, and he looks at you, Jen. Where have you gotten such power? It is not normal for a human to have such. You channel straight from the fire plane within you. You appear worthy. As he falls to one knee, he looks up at you. War has taken its toll on me. I am dying. Quicker than expected. And I need someone to continue my legacy.
What has happened?
I come from a plane of pure fire. Once it was connected in harmony. Now many have died or are dying. Chaos reigns throughout it. I need someone to continue my legacy. Do you accept?
Before I make my decision, insight check.
I'd also
At
like
this
to
point-
vamp check him if that's okay.
Off of this individual radiates pure celestial energy and a power you have never seen before. And it is radiating off of him as if he is actively losing this power. And at this point, Orsk, Boros, and Kai, running up, weapons at the ready, you arrive to see Jen and this avian-like creature on its knees in front, Juliet sword and shield out. Jen with a 14 insight check. This is the desperate plea of a dying creature to continue what he has learned in whatever arts he practices. With him, this knowledge will die out. He does not wish this.
Do I sense ill intent?
No. The battle that took place with you before was merely a test of your abilities. But he did not wish to permanently harm you.
I will put my hand on his shoulder and nod.
Stand up the rest of the way, and will turn. The large ebony tree looks completely unscathed by the amount of fire that just engulfed it. And he gestures to it. This tree can be your guide and create the ability to channel new power. It can be my last act before I die, to mold it into something useful for you. It is able to resist all forms of fire. He will walk up to the tree and put his hand on it, and continues to rip this tree all the way up 70 feet into the air as its branches and limbs begin to fold down to the side, in upon of itself, over and over again. And within about 30 seconds, are 2 gauntlets crafted out of this ebony tree. As he lays them in front of you. Channel the power from the fire plane. Use it for good. He ignites in flames, and in an instant is left in but ashes in front of you. Jen, in front of you are the 2 ebony wood gauntlets, perfectly crafted to your size. Of a wolf that is ever burning in fire, walks slumped out from this forest and begins making its way towards where the roots of this tree once were. Woo!
That's pretty good.
Lets
You got
out this long,
That was pretty
extended wolf howl that echoes through the lands and lay upon where this tree once was. And you guys continue on your way, with many more days of travel ahead of you. We can take our break there. You finally made it. After
conversation.
16 days of long, hard travel, rounding the corner, you take a small turnoff near a little cave entrance. About midday, pull into the small village of Phandalin, and the merchants direct you to the Phandalin's minor exchange. Very quiet here. You passed a few farms on the way in with a couple people working, but it seems that a lot of the shops here are closed up at this point. And you pull up to this 2-story gray bricked building with a sturdy brick roof. The carts circle around and they dismount, and the leader of the merchants walks up with you. You see sitting a human woman, gray streaks starting to appear in her hair, sits up and puts down the book she was reading. Hey there, welcome to Phandalin. The leader of the merchant convoy walks up and hands her a scroll as she unrolls it and reads through it. Took you long enough. She rolls it back up and looks at him. Come in with me. We'll work out payment for your delivery. Unlocks the door and walks in, and he follows her in. And you guys are left standing in the middle of this desolate village.
We completed our first quest after so many.
Well, it's not gonna be complete till we get paid.
That is true.
That's true.
How about you guys wait, and do you want to go check out the town? Or you could come with us. While you guys are waiting, we could check out that one guy you're looking for.
Do you know where he's located?
Honestly, not sure.
So ask the inn, start there, then we can wait for Din and Orsic to catch up so that we can go out and question him.
You did pass a sign on your way in of the Stonehill Inn.
Beautiful. We are headed to the Stonehill Inn.
As you enter, early 20s human male behind the bar, cleaning things up, and sees you all walk in. Welcome, welcome. Can I get you anything?
I'd like a
Slide
coffee,
it over.
please.
Pour you some coffee that's being kept warm under a small little fire behind the bar.
Anything sweet.
Produces this light yellow colored drink. It's overflowing with a little bit of white froth, and we'll slide it over. Wonderful apple cider. 1 silver in total for everything.
We're looking for someone named Aaronracer.
He runs the Edermath Orchard up to the northwest. There should be some signs pointing you that way from the town square.
Thank you. Am I weird for liking this town quieter?
I will say it's kind of scary how empty it is. It reminds me back of that one place with Incubus.
Kinda does, but
Most of the village folk are off at the old Owl Well building the new mining outpost over there that's been commissioned. Yeah, some adventurers came through a few months back now, made some deal with some weird necromancer, and gonna be mining out silver and gold within the mine, as well as some apparently dark energies that could be converted to good. You ever worked with a necromancer's army before?
nope.
It
That's-
stinks.
I
Quite
imagine,
literally. You want to know what they named this wonderful place? They had the choice of every name in the world for this new outpost. May become the center of Tribor Trail, revitalize this area. They named it Stanctuary. So, unless you're really interested what a brand new mining settlement looks like from the ground up, don't go there.
Trust me, I have no interest to go there unless we absolutely have to.
Does this inn
Not
have a
as-
job board?
It does, but it is empty. Probably a good half hour passes before finally the door to this Saya Miners Exchange flies back open. Slightly gray-haired human woman walk out again. Never am I paying for expedited shipping ever again. That is the most blasted deal I have ever gotten. Stomps away further into town. The merchant leader walk out with this gigantic smile on his face, and after she's out of earshot, he starts just laughing. Behind him, he is pulling a wagon full of gold.
Oh,
Crap.
He walks up to you guys and pulls this little pouch off of his belt loop. Payment for services rendered. Think about a gold and reach your hand in there. You open up the pouch, Orsk, and there is a blank void within this pouch.
He thinks about one gold piece. He pulls it
Pull
out.
out a gold piece. Within that pouch is the equivalent of 5,000 gold pieces.
Shut up! No, it's not.
Ooh!
Payment for services rendered as agreed by our contract.
Hold on, I'm gonna roll Constitution.
Oh, he's gone.
I'll use my reaction. Just quick catch.
you hold him and like glide him to the ground as his eyes are just rolled back in his head. It's apparently also specifically made for money and will convert currency however you wish.
Thank you, and glad we were able to bring you here safely.
So am I. It was quite the adventure. Without you, we would have fallen into many dangers. At the very least, probably would have never gotten out of that incubus's town. Be careful with whatever drow war you guys have fallen into.
Make sure that those who can fight are aware. We need as much reinforcement as possible.
Probably a Neverwinter next. If we start making that a regular run, we can slowly and quietly, without ensuing panic, fill in the local constabulary up there.
Jin's gonna pick up Orsk off the ground and say, they're waiting for us, let's go.
You two making your way. Who holds on to the coin pouch?
Orsk will definitely let Jin do it.
And head to the fairly empty Stonehill Inn, where you will find your three compatriots.
We got paid, everybody.
Oh.
Hey.
How much was
Hello?
it?
Well, I don't want to say the number out loud, so I'm going to write it on a little piece of parchment, and I'm going to pass it to you.
Orsk writes it down and slides it to each of you with 5,000 GP written on it.
Okay, seriously, how much did we actually make?
We should rent out rooms for the night, celebrate, first contract being fulfilled, as well as looking for your friend Boros, which, by the way, do you have any leads?
Yes, actually, there's an orchard outside of town.
Let's go!
No.
As you guys begin making your way to the north part of town, this is a 60 to 70 acre, at least that you can see, orchard, with all different types of apple trees planted throughout. Small one-bedroom house sits at one of the corners. You come up to this nice, simple oak door with a nice little rock path leading up to it. Knock, and a few seconds pass before you hear some furniture shifting and footsteps clump clump approaching the door, and the door opens ever so slightly. Slim, fit build, medium length, silver haired, half elven figure. Yes, what can I do for you?
Hello?
Oh, I was hoping this day would never come. It'll be a tight fit, but bring your friends on in, come on. You enter into the small living dining room mix that's in here. A couple couches facing a little end table and a single door leading to what you assume is the one bedroom. Moderate little kitchen area that's tiled in the back. There are baskets full of apples everywhere. If you come to me, it means something bad has happened.
You're not wrong.
Come sit. Please snack on as many apples as you like. I always have way too many around here. Valda only took a few batches. I was hoping she'd take more before they left. Fire's going in the kitchen as he's baking these pies and opens up a kiln and looks and says, "Oh, still a little bit gooey in the middle. Probably another hour." Plops down in this really nice rocking chair. I think it's better that you start with your story first. Let me get caught up on what's gone on since I last saw you as a little whippersnapper.
It all happened about 2 months ago. I was visiting my friend's house at the time, discussing business, leatherworking, but really, it was just an excuse to have a good night drinking. Drinking too much, I woke up to him completely disemboweled and blood everywhere. Unambiguously, it was probably me because I was also covered in blood, especially around my mouth. In a panic, I took off, just ran as long as I could. Ever since, I made my way to Daggerford. Incident happened there, I met these fine fellows, and I'm here now. And that's just my part of the story. I haven't gotten over the drow incursions we met up with.
He gets up and he'll shuffle over to the couch you're sitting on, reaches behind you and unsheathes your father's greatsword, and just starts walking to the other side of the room and sets it down on one of the shelves. Then he'll open a drawer and take out this very plain leather-bound book, sits down and starts flipping through it, reciting some arcane incantations before looking back over at you. Oh, well, it hasn't fully taken hold yet. That's good. So who wants to go next? He said there was more to the story.
Some drow took him to some sort of prison in some alternate plane or something. The rest of us ended up there too. We fought our way out, killed a couple of the drow that were holding us captive.
Now, wasn't there a part they took something from Boros?
Something like went in him and came out. We still don't know what.
Right, some sort of purple light or something.
Well, before we get too far into it, how is Special K?
He's doing fine.
First things first, some ground rules while you're here. Number 1, we don't make him mad in any way. We keep his emotions calm, we keep him calm, and we reduce the chances of getting murdered in our sleep. Next up, pie. Get up and shuffle over. Walks back out with a homemade oven mitt on, slides a pie onto the table. Go ahead, fresh out of the kiln. Like some of the best pie you have ever had. Melt in your mouth wonderfulness. I shall set up the cellar. It's not great, but I can put some cots down there for you all to sleep on, and a couple of you can take the couches if you wish. You're welcome to stay here as long as you need to. In the meantime, I should go unlock Von Armor. I think it's time you two get acquainted. I'll shuffle over and pick up the obsidian black engraved greatsword that your father left you. Haphazardly puts it under his arm and will shuffle past you guys on the couches into the bedroom and will close the door.
Von Armor.
The door to his bedroom opens once again. Cane in one hand, large obsidian greatsword that is way too big for this man to wield. In the other hand, nonchalantly carrying it. Boros and Miss... He looks over at you, Juliet.
Juliet.
Miss Juliet, can you two please accompany me outside? He'll shuffle towards the front door. We'll lead you guys around the back side of the house where you see well-equipped melee training area with training dummies, shields, racks of just basic, like, old guard weapons that have probably been discarded. He'll hand you over the black greatsword. Boros, meet Von Armor. Von Armor, meet Boros. It probably will not speak to you for many years, but its effects are of full use. The sword is enchanted with the consciousness of its very first wielder, Von Armor, many millennia ago. Upon his death, he decided to transfer his consciousness. I understand a lot of things. That's not one of them. That is your sword. Become one with it. Learn how to use it. It will protect you and your friends. Miss Juliet, you seem like the type I can trust for this task. Protect Boros. And by that, I mean, if we cannot get this under control, someone will have to control him. That may need to be you. Are you up for that task?
I can do it.
If it helps you at all, I do trust you.
Now, if we do everything correctly over the next few days, and you learn to control what is within you, You will never have to take action against him. Let us begin to see what you can do with this sword. I am going to send you a thing.
Ooh.
Once you read through it, you are welcome to share as much as you wish.
Oh, I see why its name is Von Armor now.
Yes. Crazy how that works, huh? How would you like to use the sword first, Boros? Training dummies at your disposal.
I would say for the first attack, I would be balanced with it, putting 2 points out of it into me.
Wrap both hands around it. You feel a connection with this sword. The runes along the sword begin to light, and as Boros wields the weapon back to go and strike, these runes project a shield over Boros, defending him from any incoming attacks as he swings down and slices the dummy in half.
Sweet.
Very nice.
Supper at sundown. You have at your disposal as many targets as you wish to use out here. And we'll look up at you, Juliet. I assume by the vibe I'm getting off you, you are trained in some type of magical arts. And he'll
Yes.
pull out a small book and shuffle over and hand it to you. He can chop as many of these dummies in half as he wishes. All you must do is recite the first spell in that book, and magically, huzzah, they will fix themselves. Anyways, I must go fix supper. I have 5 guests! The 3 of you still inside, looking out the window at Julius and Boros talking here. Boom! As the front door slams open. Alright, you 3, we've got a feast to cook, with me in the kitchen. And I'll shuffle off into the kitchen.
It's been a while.
What
Let's
are we
do this.
cooking? You know how to cook, Jen?
It was part of my training. It's how I maintain balance of the flame.
Juliet, Boros slicing up dummies. Orsk, Jin, and Kai left in the kitchen. And we'll end there for tonight.